Hello everyone, thank you for joining. My name is Ben Ingram and I'm the Managing Director and Co-Founder of Northreach. Welcome to our office. Behind me is our biotechnology team. We're going to find out a lot more about the person that leads this team, Phil Rose, and the first episode of our Q&A of the recruiters that work at Northreach. So without any further ado, come follow me and let's go find out more about the man.
Hello.
Phil Rose, how are you, sir?
Very good, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Have you got 5 minutes to do a little Q&A session?
I should think so for you.
Come on in, let's do it. For the benefit of the viewers,
Yeah.
for those that don't know you,
Yeah.
would you mind giving us a little intro?
Yeah, Phil Rose, Director of Northreach Bio. For those of you who don't know, I've been in recruitment for, I think it's my 18th year now. Would you believe it? Started off working for quite a big company doing IT recruitment. Moved over into their life science division about 8 or 9 years ago, and then it's my 5th year now at Northreach, believe it or not.
Very nice. Thank you for the intro, Phil. There's so many questions we want to ask you. Okay, so you've been in the recruitment game for 17 years, 18 years?
Yeah,
18 years. Okay, so give us a little glimpse of how that's been for you in terms of your journey, the highs, the lows, the emotions. How's it been?
I think like most recruiters, it's been very up and down. Mainly good, or I probably wouldn't be doing it still, let's be honest. It's been like a challenge, just trying to move in different sectors, doing deals in different countries, different skill sets. Obviously growing teams can be, have its challenges as well. But in all, it's been very positive, and I'm probably going to be doing it for another 18 years.
I hope so. How many people do you reckon you've placed in 18 years, roughly?
Someone asked me this the other day. I've got to be careful as well, because there's going to be a lot of viewers who know me who can call out if I'm exaggerating the number. I would say, I think I've placed, I reckon 1,500.
It's a lot. 1,500 people. So you've been directly involved in helping get 1,500 people jobs over the last 18 years. Massive achievement. Congratulations. So what's been the best bit of advice that you've received, specifically in recruitment, that's made you successful in placing 1,500 people over the last 18 years?
Twofold. From a business perspective, 100%, not all business is good business. So don't get too excited. It's like someone says, I need to hire someone, and you're just like, yeah, well, that's what I do. Doesn't mean it's the right thing to do for you or the client. But the biggest bit of advice is just trust your gut. And I've learned the hard way. And I think that's what molds all the good recruiters. Like your gut feeling will always overrule, and it's 99% of the time it's right, especially when you're talking about candidates and get them jobs.
What is it that you like most about this job, other than working with me, of course?
I was going to say that, actually, so I thank you.
I mean, obviously you can't use that now, but, what's your second best thing about this job?
It's hard now, isn't it? I think just the diversity. Obviously, the market we're in at the moment is just incredible. Like the whole cell and gene therapy, advanced therapy field, the things that these guys and girls are doing for different therapies, different indications with lots of different people around the world, it's genuinely quite fulfilling. But I do love the buzz still of like a new biotech ringing you up and saying, hey, I hear you've placed 20 people with these guys, can you help me? It still genuinely gets me out of bed. I think without that it would be a bit of an arduous task on a day-to-day.
Controversial. What do you dislike the most about the job?
What do I dislike about the job? Do you know what? More of a feel problem than a job problem, but the fact you just can't really switch off, ever. And I think a lot of people talk about, and we won't get into it too much, but, this whole kind of middle ground of being able to juggle what's going on outside of your life for inside. But if you're going to be good at this job, it is just a 24/7. That's probably the worst thing, but it's also, I don't mind it, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, for me, that's the main problem.
So if you weren't in the recruitment game, what would you be doing, do you think?
I would be Jerry Maguire for golf. I would travel the world, and I would basically be Tiger Woods' agent. We need to talk about that, actually. But I need to speak to Tiger as well. I'm not sure if he's interested.
What makes you qualified?
Well, just I know a bit about golf. Got a bit of a salesy background. Might be able to muscle in on a few good deals with Nike and that.
Have you got a CV you can send me so I can spec you out?
Could you spec me out? I don't know. You're going to try and find the manager's details. So.
I can find anyone's details, don't worry about that. So what set you up in your kind of recruitment career? I mean, how old were you when you first started? 21, 22, something like that? So what were you doing prior to working in recruitment?
I was a part-time golf pro, which didn't really work out. I then moved into hospitality sales. I used to sell seats for different sporting events for a company. I won't say too much. So it gave me my first little insight into picking up a phone, talking to someone I don't know and trying to ask them to do something they don't necessarily want to do, which is sales, I guess. I did that for about 8-9 months, I believe. And then one of my friends I worked with, he left at the same time as me, and he said, "Oh, I've just landed a job in recruitment. You should try it. You'll probably be all right at it." So I think at the time you're just like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get to help people find jobs. It sounds really cool." We all know that's probably not quite the day to day. But yeah, that set me up. Had a few interviews up in London. Landed a job, which is great. I was there for about 12 years in the end.
So what would you tell your 21-year-old self now, knowing what you know now? What would be the words of wisdom that you would give Phil Rose at 21?
I would say just throw yourself into it a bit more in the early days, because I think you just see it as a bit of a job, like it just sort of pays the bills. Where I think if I had the intensity I had now, I probably wouldn't be doing it now, if I'm really honest. I'd probably have nailed it, completed recruitment. But I think you spend the first year or two kind of thinking, oh, it's all right, I'll get my basic salary and move on. So I kind of wish I'd done that. On a less work though, I would say anyone out there's got any money, just please buy a flat or something. Don't spend it in the pub. I just wish I had.
So what did you spend your money on then?
Well, beer. Quite simple.
And watches?
A few watches, beers, golf clubs, other things. Just not the stuff I should have been buying. Holidays. I enjoyed it though, no regrets.
Nice. Let's do a little quick fire round,
Yeah, go on.
because I'm conscious we could sit here, as we have done, speaking 4 hours about the life of Phil Rose. So quick fire. Okay, so what is a word or a phrase that you say every day or use every day?
Horses, some sort of equestrian theme. Don't know why.
Maybe it was the equestrian college that set you up well for that.
I was hoping we weren't going to talk about that.
What did you do prior to working?
What's the next question?
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Golf or football?
Golf.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Ben or Sam?
Josh.
Good answer. Cycling or surfing?
Cycling.
You had to think about it though, didn't you?
I'm interested. I'm interested.
If someone said, right, you can only cycle for the rest of your life or surf for the rest of your life.
So, I'm scared of sharks, so cycling. Yeah.
Comedy or thriller?
Comedy.
What's your favourite film?
Departed.
If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Aruba.
Where's the best holiday you've ever been?
Aruba.
Fair. Watches or cars? That's a good one.
Cars.
Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Netflix.
FIFA or PGA?
PGA.
Really? But you play a lot more FIFA though,
I'm
really?
retired from PGA.
That is true, you've hung your boots up.
Yeah.
Cool, I think we've got enough content, guys. That was a little glimpse into the life of Phil Rose. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. And join you on the next episode of... Maybe you can host the next one.
I'll host the next
Now you've been warmed up, you can host the next one and you can find out a little bit more about someone else in the office. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hope you found it insightful. See you on the next one.